I think that's a good thing, climate change then. Because I don't want an ice age. I, I, don't- I couldn't survive in a -2, let alone an ice age.
Yeah, it's
Um,
interesting to know about an ice age. I mean, I've not ever really researched it, but it didn't wipe out such humans as were on the Earth, and
right.
there were humans on the Earth at that time. So I guess the ice age had its particularly bad places where it was just impossible to thrive or survive.
Hmm. Well, I suppose I suppose in a way it's done us all a favor because look at people in Alaska. Um,
Mm,
they get very minimal sunshine, don't they? Their sunshine is so limited.
yeah.
Um, and you think, well, they're a good example of people living in the ice age. They are a good,
Well,
they are a
yeah,
really good,
it
yeah,
is.
they are a
Yeah.
really good example of people living in ice age. And then when you think about people living in the Sahara desert, for instance, like people in the core areas like Sudan, for instance, where the sunshine is really, really intense. They're
Mm,
on the opposite side of the spectrum, really, of light and day, light and light and darkness.
night,
Oh, well,
night.
that
Yeah,
like yeah,
light and night,
light and
day and
night.
night. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking, is it night or is it just lacking sunshine? But anyway,
Mm,
um, and you think that could lack of too much well, so the people in Alaska, they're all right. But then the people on the other spectrum, the other end of the spectrum are in danger of being extinct actually because if you have the less and less water you have,
mm.
the less life there is, the less life there is there. So if you start, the more drought you have, the more people are more likely to move away from uh,
Mm.
um, those sort of areas and gravitate, not gravitate, or what's that word? Migrate to
Yeah,
an
my
area
group.
where they have more
Mm.
access to access or supply of water. And it just makes me think because when you said about the areas where they have one 1% being uninhabitable,
Uninhabitable. Yeah.
uninhabitable, and then it's gradually growing up to 10% of
Mm.
areas on Earth that would be uninhabitable. I think water might be the factor there. What do you think?
It's actually 20%. Yeah, okay, it's going up to by 2050.
Yeah.
1/5 of the Earth, they say, will not be habitable in 20 or by 2050, which is not very far away, really. I think, and one of the things about all this, I suppose this is the view I always used to take, that ultimately humankind, are not really capable, despite human ingenuity and all the things we've done for good and bad, I guess. But we surely are not capable of disrupting this beautiful planet Earth, which has been there for over 4 billion years, and who knows how much longer it's got to go. But the sun, our star, has got another 5 billion. Got to go, but the sun, our star, has got another 5 billion years before it's run out of its fuel. So we
Mm.
may be around a good part of that time. Are humans and humanity? It's often said if life on Earth was a 24 or 12-hour clock, AM and PM, humans have come onto the scene about 1 minute to midnight. The rest, that's how long the Earth has been here, and we've just arrived. Now, is it really conceivable that our activities, based on utilizing the fossil fuels of the Earth, surely they're to be used in some degree or another? Is it possible that we could have we could disrupt the very orbit of this planet, its future life? And a lot of people take the view, and I think I always used to, that no matter what, nature and the earth, they're far too powerful for humans to really affect. If the earth feels it's under threat of existence, you sort of can believe that it will make damn sure humans don't let that happen. Now, whether nature will cause wars, which wipes out people, or pandemics, which can wipe out people. What I'm saying is the Earth can come up with quite a few ideas to eradicate millions, even billions of people, should it choose to, if it felt its existence was under threat. Because you can say this is a living Earth. I mean, we're living beings of this Earth, created from this Earth. And the Earth itself is alive. So if we ever think we've got one up on this incredible planet, we haven't. And I think that's a view I've often had, that no matter what we do, the Earth will always correct itself one way or another. Do you remember going back, 20 years, about the ozone layer?
Yeah.
Remember, they were saying there's this big hole in the ozone layer. And that was quite interesting as well, because there was a big hole, which to my knowledge is now not there, or if it is, it's very small, because action was taken. And that was basically some compounds called CFCs, which were found in refrigerators and freezers. Basically, the answer to a lot of it was not to just throw those away somewhere so that those chemicals can still affect the atmosphere, but to dispose of them properly. So you probably know even now, if you take to a rubbish tip, a fridge or a freezer, you've got to put it in a certain place. You shouldn't put it on its side because it can all leak out. And that action was very strongly taken around the world. And as I say, I believe the ozone layer is now largely repaired of the hole that was there. And it was critical because that hole, but basically the ozone layer, part of the atmosphere, stops us being fried by UV rays from the sun.